Last time on Overland Vagabond, we exposed our Season 1 travel plans, we documented our modest departure from Ticino, Switzerland, swiftly crossed northern Italy and had our first night wild camping in the flatlands of the Friuli. In this episode, we covered the first stretch of our journey, coasting along the Adriatic Sea and driving over the Dinaric Alps, crossing Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia, Montenegro, Kosovo, Macedonia and Albania. This is a time-lapse display of the road traveled along the planned route in blue, the bigger dots representing the places where we spent the night. On day 2, one last view to the peaceful sea near Trieste, Italy, and up the steep hills we go towards the Slovenian border, with some first obstacle like a very narrow bridge with only centimeters to spare on each side. As an apprenticeship to overlanding, we enjoyed the drive along the narrow coastal roads and through the little Croatian harbors, but also those through the characteristic and totally deserted villages in the hills of the backcountry. In the morning of our fourth day, we were greeted by stormy winds. Its force was that strong, I reckon over 100 kilometers an hour, that during a brief stop it ripped the door from my arm and slammed it open beyond breakpoint, damaging the hinge and twisting the door. Next day in the news, we read that further south, hundreds of boats were severely damaged or destroyed. There are beautiful little towns to visit on the Adriatic Coast, with a mix of Renaissance, Baroque and Romanesque buildings. At night there are interesting activities, the food is exquisite and the ambience is enchanting and relaxing. The Yugoslavian wars in the 90s have left deep and omnipresent scars, particularly in the more remote areas, and our next episode will be fully dedicated to this subject. Completely unknown to most, Montenegro is a forgotten jewel that offers both a picturesque coast and a mountainous northern region. National Geographic Traveler features Montenegro among the 50 places of a lifetime. The Durmitor is a breathtaking national park formed by glaciers and is traversed by rivers and underground streams with the deepest gorges in Europe. It has dense pine forests, clear lakes and gorgeous Alps. We were starting to savor the pure overlanding life, and this is just one of the many addictive overnight camps. While crossing the last campers and bikers heading north, the Lake Skandar was displaying a pristine nature despite unfavorable skies. Wonder how this looks on a sunny spring day. took a detour through an isolated Albanian valley driving the SH20 route, a partially newly paved yet still challenging twisting road with steep up and down hills. To our surprise, the majority of cars here in Albania are Mercedes-Benzes. The autumn colors through the rainbow were so intense and stunning. In search for the customs to get back to Montenegro, we were amazed by the modesty of this border station, and we had to record it. One of the next unexpected highlights was the city of Ohrid, a beautiful town on the same named lake, rich in picturesque houses and monuments. Ohrid once had 365 churches, one for each day of the year, and is today member of the Cultural and Natural World Heritage Site of UNESCO. From the Ohrid lake, you get access to the Galicia and, across the border into Albania, to the Prespa National Parks. This was another breathtaking drive, magnified by the great autumn mood and the natural beauty of the landscapes and farmer villages. The drive back to the Adriatic Coast wasn't as pleasant. More than 100 kilometers of potholes and very badly maintained road. The closer you get to the plain, the better it becomes, like here along a man-made canal. During our next World Heritage Site visit of the Butrint National Park, we experienced our first ever water crossing on a barge. The guy managed to wrest €7 out of my pocket, and this for a 20-meter crossing. What a steal! On the southernmost tip of Albania, one can spot the grandiose island of Corfu, a reminder that we will be soon crossing into Greece. But more on this in our fourth episode.